Brother, I can't go to camp with you today, man. Right. I can't go, brother. Get you nervous, paralyze you. I don't want to go out there, brother. Use wisdom, brother. Use wisdom. That's the biggest thing, brother. Right. It ain't the time yet, brother. The coronavirus is going around. Use wisdom. That's what fear will do for you, man. Read that again.
God, the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 10.
Come on.
Fear thou not.
Fear thou not, come on.
For I am with thee.
So what you got to fear for if you're with the Lord, man? Right. If the Lord is with you, come on.
Be not dismayed.
Be not dismayed, come on.
For I am thy God.
Come on.
I will strengthen thee.
He says he's going to strengthen you, come on.
Yeah, I will help thee.
He's going to help you, come on.
Yea, I will uphold thee.
Come on.
With the right hand of my righteousness.
One more. Give me Job 17 and 9. Turn it over to the right. One more. Okay? So the Lord tells you that, man. Okay? Yeah, what you said, brother?
I appreciate it.
Okay, let me just get one more. And we can get I'm going to turn it over to the brother. Read.
It's the book of Job, chapter 17, verse 9. The righteous also shall hold on his way.
The righteous what?
The righteous also shall hold on his way.
Come on.
And he that hath clean hands.
Come on. And he that has clean hands, come on,
shall be stronger and stronger.
So you're supposed to be getting stronger and stronger.
That's right.
And Esau's supposed to be getting weaker and weaker. Right? Okay? You ain't supposed to be getting weaker now. You're supposed to be getting stronger and stronger. If you have clean hands, though. That's what the scriptures say. None of us is perfect. But if you're a wicked Negro, that's when you're going to know. And you're not going to have that confidence. But if you try to do the best of the Lord and doing His will, that's when you're going to get stronger and stronger.
Right.
And it should show on you, man. You should have that presence, man, when you walk by. You know what I mean? You ain't panicky over no coronavirus, man. You walking strong. You should see that, man. All right, go ahead.
There's a precept in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe be to the fearful heart.
Come on.
And faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways.
Right.
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted,
right.
and he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended.
There you go.
That's right.
Therefore you not be defended. But put out a good precept.
That's right.
You ain't gonna be defended. The Lord ain't gonna protect you. Okay, if you're not moving right, He gonna let a nigga cough on you and jack you up. Cause you ain't moving right. But if you moving right, you got a nigga cough. Don't be stupid.
Right.
Don't run up into a Chinese man and tip the Lord. Go ahead. I know you got it. Cough on me. I'm ready for you. You know what I mean? But He's gonna protect you. Okay? Go ahead.
Shalom. Shalom. You want praise to the Most High, H.O.I. All right, so tonight is the Feast of Purim. All right, everybody say Ashar. Paryam. All right, tonight is the Feast of Purim, the story of Esther and Mordecai during the time of the Persian Empire. All right, can anybody give me a brief history of Purim? Anybody? What's your name, Mark? Shamiala. Go ahead, brother.
So when Haman was trying to get the Jews destroyed by the Persians, and Esther was able to...
a little bit louder.
Esther was able to have her husband save the Jews, and Mordecai gave her some advice to help Esther, and then Mordecai was exalted because Haman was upset with Mordecai, and Mordecai was exalted to the second place of the kingdom.
God, who was Haman?
Haman was an Edomite.
Edomite, God. All right. Who was Edomite?
Arabs.
Huh?
He was a Macedonian.
No, who are the Edomites today?
Oh, the white man.
So-called white man. Right, say it, God. God. Say it like you know it, God. Don't tell me no damn Arab or nothing. All right. So say it, goddammit. Who's Esau?
The devil, the Bible
So-called white. Because the average person you walk up to, you say Haman was an Edomite, they don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay? So the Edomites are the so-called white people. So we always had, Esau was always our enemy from the womb.
Right.
So throughout history, you always saw there was tension between Israel and Esau. Okay? So that's why during that time, not only did the Greeks under Haman, they wanted to destroy Israel, but they also want to overthrow the Persian Empire and take the empire from the Persians. Because the Greeks was always trying to, Esau's the devil.
That's right.
So they was always trying to interfere the Persian Empire and take it over before their time. Because the Lord told them that they was going to rule. They was going to be the third kingdom. Right? Remember, Daniel prophesied the 4 kingdoms. So the Greeks was to be the third kingdom. But they was always trying to take over early from the Persians. And what happened is, that's a significant part of the story. For the sake of time, we may get to some of it, maybe not, but y'all all read the book of Esther on your own. And I'm going to show y'all, everybody going to have to take meticulous notes, because I'm going to show you how to link the Apocrypha with the Bible, because you got to insert parts of the story that was taken out of the Hebrew and the Apocrypha, and you got to put it into the story in the Bible. Okay? That's how you get the chronological order of it. We may not get the whole thing, but y'all got all day tomorrow. It'll still be Purim. Read the story throughout the day tomorrow. Or read it all year round. Okay? Don't just read the book of Esther when Purim comes up.
That's right.
Okay? Bring it out.
And I was just joking about the Arabs. I don't want nobody. You got doctrines.
They got
out
doctrines
here.
out.
I just said the Arabs.
I just said the
joke.
Arabs, yeah.
We should be clear that Esau is the white man. That should be
we basically
clear on
we
that.
basically moved on from that doctrine, man. Esau is the so-called white man. Anybody still running with that in 2020, knock yourself out. You can do a 5-hour video on it. We're not responding. You can say, oh, see, you're scared. You can't deal with it. No, we don't want to, because we know who Esau is. A lot of these brothers think you afraid to challenge their doctrine. No, it's just your doctrine is so damn frivolous. I don't give a damn how much history, how many books. The Most High revealed it to us in the last days to correct all of Israel. Right. I'm good, brother. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, continue in the things that thou hast learned. All right, and it sounds good. It sounds good, history, and brother, when you check it out, whatever, okay, brother, but I just don't see it. That's all. You making some points, but I don't see it. The final conclusion, I don't agree with you, bro. It's not stubbornness, it's not pride, and you stuck in that one West. Everybody want to attack one West, man. Everything, one West this, one West that, one West this. You niggas wouldn't know you was Israelites if it wasn't for one West. So shut your damn mouth, please, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's neither here nor there. One West is just a building. The truth is everlasting. That was just a major place that the Most High let the truth come out. And all these people talking crap, you wouldn't know you was an Israelite if it wasn't for One West and the brothers that branched off and came out and started doing this work all over the damn planet.
That's right.
Right? So don't bite the hand that feeds you, boy. All right, go ahead, brother.
Just wanted to show something about the Arabs and Esau in the Maccabees.
Right,
Khan. This is first, just real quick. First Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 3. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arabatime, because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. And just to skip down, whenever you guys get a chance, you guys can read this story of the Maccabees. Going to verse 38, it says, So Judas sent men to espy the host, who brought him word, saying, All the heathen that be round about us are assembled unto them, even a very great host. Now check this out. Verse 39. This is Esau. He hath also hired the Arabians to help them. So how is Esau the Arabs if he's hiring the Arabs? Okay. And they have pitched their tents beyond the brook, ready to come and fight against thee. Upon this, Judas went to meet them. So that's a straight cut that says Esau is the Arabs. If Esau is the Arabs, why is Esau hiring the Arabs?
Right.
We all know that the Arabs come from Ishmael.
Right.
Okay, the Ishmaelites, which was they all come from Abraham. Esau comes from Isaac, Salakia. I was about to say Jacob, Salakia, Isaac. So that right there shows that Esau has to be the white man, and the Arabs is not the white man. Okay, go ahead, Salakia.
Just certain doctrines, man. It's 2020. We go ahead with that, man. We moving forward, man. We ready to get the hell up out of here.
That's right.
Coronavirus and all kinds of other stuff breaking out, man. They they all of a sudden popped up the movie Outbreak on Netflix. That movie popped up. I've been looking for that damn movie the last 5 damn years, and it just popped up on Netflix. What are you trying to tell us, Esau? All right, but the Most High told us, there shall no evil come to him that keep the commandments.
That's right.
So I don't give a damn if you cough, whatever. It's of the Most High. Yes, you got to take certain precautions and everything, but at the end of the day, the Most High, give me 1 Peter 3:13. The Most High is going to protect us from any plague, virus, anything that's going to come on this planet. Okay? So let's have faith in that and enjoy our Purim. And, we're not going to tiptoe around with masks on and don't cough near me. Remember, as the closing of the winter, people are still sick too. People got regular colds. Don't say somebody coughing, the whole damn train get paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I barely could damn get rid of my cold half the time because I can't sit down nowhere. When you one of the main ways you get rid of a cold, you gotta have rest. Right. But you can't rest in this kingdom. So you sick and you damn have a cold for 3 damn months because you can't rest. You know what I'm saying? You've taken stuff and herbs and this and that, but you can't rest because if I lay down, this don't get done. Okay? You gotta get out here sometime when you're not feeling well. Like, damn, my body, I need 2-3 days. I can get this cold up out of me, but I can't rest. You know what I'm saying? This damn kingdom don't allow you to. All right? So read that, 1 Peter 3:13.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 13.
Go ahead.
And who is he that will harm you?
Who or what will harm you? Go ahead.
If ye be followers of that which is good.
Right, if you keeping these commandments and following the Most High, you're not worried about coronavirus.
Right.
You're not worried about martial law. You're not worried about World War III. You actually want that stuff to come.
Right. That's right.
All right, so if you're keeping the commandments, you're not worried about that. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake.
That's what you're going to do. We're going to start suffering for righteousness' sake in these last days. Y'all see what happened out here a couple of months ago with the shooting? The Israelites did it.
Right.
No, we didn't, you damn liar.
That's right.
But we know you're going to use your media to try to demonize us. But the Lord said what? You're going to suffer for righteousness. Now is that time. That's the beginning of this time now. We're suffering because we coming out of these curses. We trying to do the right thing. We coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
The white man is mad. They see your fringes. They see I don't eat pork. My children can't do this. No, here's a letter. I don't want my child participating with the Halloween celebration. I don't want this or what. Oh, these niggas waking up. A remnant of them, but there's enough what we noticing.
Right.
All right. Well, this nigga think he's sending a letter to the school talking about his children gonna be absent for the Hanukkah. You're not the Jews. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that are happening. All right. So you're gonna suffer for righteousness' sake, for keeping the commandments. Go ahead.
Happy are ye.
The Lord said what?
Happy are ye.
Happy are ye. All right, because Yahweh said what? You surely going to drink from that cup.
Right.
He suffered, so you're going to go through the same suffering. Maybe even to the point of martyrdom. All right? Maybe to the point of giving your life for this truth. All right, come on.
And be not afraid of their terror.
Don't be afraid of their terror, man. They're trying to cause terror upon us by demonizing us in the media. They're trying to label us terrorists in the media to cause terror upon us. Right. All right, come on.
Neither be troubled.
What did the Lord say?
Neither be troubled.
We're not troubled, man. You can say the Israelites this, and we are stabbing up Hanukkah parties. All right? You can say whatever the hell you want, man. And coronavirus. The Lord said we're not troubled, man.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 15. But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts.
All right, come on.
And be ready always to give an answer.
Be ready for what?
To give an answer.
The Lord said, look, man, we're not troubled by nothing. We out here giving answers. All right, we not troubled by this. We gonna keep teaching till the chariots come.
That's right.
H.O.I. to the chariots fly. All right, all right. So that's what we gotta do, man. So we not. Lord said, don't be troubled, man. Be ready to give an answer.
That's right.
All right, keep doing this work. Keep teaching. The hell with that. I got you. Just like when we came out of Egypt. Just like it tells you in Psalms 91, 1,000 shall fall by thy right hand, 10,000 at thy left, but none shall come near thee. All right, come on.
Con. To every man that asketh you a reason.
The Lord said, man, don't be troubled. Don't worry about their terror. Get ready to give answers to every man that asks of you. Go ahead.
Of the hope.
Of the hope. Come on.
That is in you.
That is in you. Go ahead.
With meekness and fear.
See that? With meekness and fear. Give an answer of the hope that's within you. Hey, brother, man, you one of them. And people, people starting to wake up, man.
Oh, yeah.
I see some brothers in Harlem the other day. Brothers, pants hanging off they behind, barely could walk up the block because their pants sagging. Yo, you know what I'm saying? The average person was stereotyped though. But one of the brothers looked at me, I had my menorah scarf on. Brother's like, yo, man, can you enlighten me real quick? Drop some of that good knowledge on me. He's like, yo, man, why the red man hate us so much? So I said, oh, you've been listening, brother. Because he know Esau is red. You know what I'm saying? And now, the average person, they'll stereotype these young brothers, but these little ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? But the brother knew a little something. You never know who's watching. So this word is getting to people that now, normally I'd have been like, hey, Jake, man, come on, man.
Right.
You little dusty dudes, get down away from me. But now, you never know. You never know who's watching now. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I try not to stereotype my own people because you never know, a person could look a certain way. But then the scripture saw a man may be known by his look, so you got to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? You really going to know when they open their damn mouth. But the brother actually came up to me, he looked at me, he's like, yo, man, give me a little bit of knowledge, man, before we get this cab. They were waiting for a cab. I said, man, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, these cabs ain't going to stop for y'all brothers. Y'all brothers better off calling an Uber or something. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I'm going to tell y'all straight up, the way y'all look, and none of the cabs will stop for them. So I said, brother, we start dropping it. Then this man started talking about Buddha. I was like, come on, man. Yo, get away from him. Keep watching the videos. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 16. Having a good conscience.
Having a good conscience. All right, come on.
That whereas they speak evil of you.
They're going to speak evil of us. These guys are terrorists. They're wicked. They're evil. All right, they teach hate.
Right.
All right. Other Israelites speaking evil. You One West camps. All right, go ahead. They blame every problem in the nation is because of One West. Everything wrong with the nation, is you camps, is you One West camp. Everything they blame on the so-called One West camps. Every problem in the nation. All right, go ahead.
As of evildoers.
As a what?
As of evildoers.
See that? They speak of you as an evildoer. And you're like, no, I'm just trying to teach this gospel.
Right, that's right.
But what it is, you mad because I won't water it down. You mad because I won't compromise.
Right.
You mad because I'm still going out there after all these years putting that work in.
That's right.
And you want to sit up and be lazy or scared or whatever the hell, whatever your problem is. All right, maybe you think street teaching is over. Well, I don't know. But I know what I got to do. Most times Yahweh told me what I got to do. You still sitting on the couch figuring what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
All right, so they hate you for that, man. All right, come on.
They may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation.
See that? They falsely accuse your good conversation. Damn, brother, all I'm doing is teaching. No, you're just yelling on the street corner. Well, I heard one brother say that. You guys out there, you still teach. That stuff is played out. You're just yelling on the street corner. That's all you're doing. Damn, but wait a minute. These 5 people just gave me a pound and a hug and say, yo, thank you for that message, brother. So we out there hitting somebody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The sister just hugged us and said, thank you, brothers. When we was in Philly, man, as soon as the camp shut down, this sister walked up to us crying, man. And she said, I'm so glad to see y'all brothers here in person. I'm so glad. I watch y'all all the time. It's so beautiful. That's why traveling is important. That's good for the people to see you in the flesh. All right, you know what I'm saying? You just traveling. Brothers condemn you for that. So why? Damn, brother. Didn't Paul have a first, second, and third missionary journey?
Right.
All right. Didn't Yahweh say I must preach the gospel in other cities?
Right.
Didn't Paul say let us go into every city where we preach the gospel and visit our brethren and see how they do.
Right.
Okay? Brother rebuke you for traveling. Damn nigga, every time you turn around, it's a back on a plane. Wicked ass nigga. Excuse my language, y'all. He wicked for getting on a plane. Brother. But I see from over time, yo, that person, they enjoy that human presence, that fleshly presence. You know, so I took a picture with this brother's daughter, man. Out in Philly, man. It's just little stuff like that. You know, you put it up on social media and show people, you know, we out here for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Right? But you know, like we showing love, we here, we amongst our people. We ain't no red carpet Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Get away from me. You can't talk to me. You can't touch me. Get away from. What camp you from, brother? You can't talk to me, brother. I'm the high general of Israel. Don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Nah, brother. We right here. You know, show respect or whatever. You know, be in order. But we right here with the people. You know what I'm saying? You get on a damn plane or a train or you brothers. We're gonna take a drive down to D.C. But hey, brothers always traveling. Wicked brothers. Goddamn, brother.
Bring that coronavirus
Right, you know what I'm saying? Going all around the place. So you know, it's just I just see a spirit of just complaining and condemnation lately, whining and complaining, and brothers want to attack other brothers and lying and slandering and trying to dig up any dirt and just saying stuff like, where the hell you get that from, brother? You lying like hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, man. The Lord said, woe to the slanderous tongue. You know? Or brothers that take something you did 15 damn years ago and still want to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sisters, too. Cackling damn women, man. Cackling hen women that's mad and scorned because their perfect Israelite relationship didn't go right. Or they done ran from congregation to congregation and can't find a man that'll submit to them. Right? Or they still want to be in the world, so every time you check these sisters, they want to dress whorish and still say they Israel, so they're never happy anywhere. All right, it goes on and just lies, slander, bitterness, people that are scorned, women are mad because a particular brother didn't want them. You know, it's all kinds of stuff, man. You know, when we should be beyond that. It's 2020. All right, Ariel?
God, select. I got a precept, Sirach chapter 34, verse 9. This pertains to what the elder is saying about traveling. They say they hated on us, like saying that we're going all over the place and we're traveling, but we're mixing with the people. We're gathering with the people. We're teaching them face to face. We're not charging them. We like $3,000 for my service.
Right.
Like how the wicked pastors do.
Right.
We're going to them. We said, where's the location? We got the funds and the money. We're going to go there. Right? So this is Sirach chapter 34, verse 9. And then, by the way, the Philly trip is beautiful, man.
One year shot.
Oh, yeah.
Come here, Charlotte.
Sirach chapter 34, verse 9. A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. So the Most High is basically saying, if you travel, you know many things for many wisdom, because you see different people, ways of life.
Right.
Some people, they busy, some people are not. I'll just put it like that. But you see different walks of life, you see different heritage, different customs. So now you have more of a wider scale of experience. You compare one person to another nation. You compare this and that. You're not stuck in just one spot, in one block. Because what, you thinking you live in the Bronx, there's some people that never went to Manhattan, stayed at that block. Say, this is my block, this is old block, I own this block. Well, no you don't, the white man owns this block.
Right.
The Arab own this block, the so-called Hamites own this block. You don't own a business in your so-called block. Right? So the Most High is saying, those that travel, they have experience, man. It's a blessing. So that's a cut what the brother was saying with the scoffing.
Bring it out.
It's lucky, and like the brother said, it's you know, I mean, like the brother said, it's basically a lot of Negroes that don't travel upset. Niggas that go from Chinese restaurant right back to their damn house. They ain't never been nowhere. That'd be a lot of the Negroes that be upset like that, man. And this ain't no major traveling, brother.
Right.
Going to Philly and Chicago and everything ain't major traveling.
Right.
How about when you see brothers in Alaska? What they gonna say? You know what I mean? A different part of Europe or wherever.
And it's coming.
And it's coming.
It's coming.
Ain't no
Most High
major
will.
travel. So brothers, you know, but a lot of my brothers and sisters are small minded. Like the brother said, you got people that never left Brooklyn, never left Harlem, Ever left Bronx? Yeah.
Right.
Newark? Oh, definitely. No.
A lot of
I
never
can
left
tell you stories about Jersey. I know Jersey. Patterson, Newark,
Never left it.
East Orange, Elizabeth. Oh, man. Oh,
It's
disrespect.
cats,
ignorant Negroes, boy. We got. I'll be honest, man. And I've been around Newark. I've been around Patterson. You know what I mean? And we got ignorance everywhere. But it just seems like
it just
Jersey.
seems- certain cities, no
Certain
disrespect.
cities, man. No disrespect.
The level is on a whole nother level, man. It's on a whole nother level. You know, the West Coast is like that. You know, Cali. Because that gangbanging stuff is in their blood, man. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, cats never really left the hood, man. You know what I'm saying? Been in damn Compton their whole life. Long Beach, the East Side, you know what I'm saying? Watts, Grape Street, South Central. Just never really went nowhere, man. Just stuck in that mentality. I remember growing up in Brooklyn, in East New York, me and some of I used to hang with different dudes because I was kind of a loner. So I was like, I didn't really attach myself to one crew because I was like, I moved the way I moved. So I would hang with different type of dudes, whatever. And some dudes like to leave the block. They like to leave the hood. Yo, let's go uptown or something. Yo, let's go out here. Let's go to the city or whatever. So other dudes around the way would be like, oh, that go to city boys. Because dudes never went nowhere. We're like, yo, son, let's just take a ride to Manhattan and chill. Go chill at a park or something. Nah, you know, niggas chilling. You go to the weed spot, the liquor store, like the brother said, Chinese restaurant or pizza shop or the regular store, get a sandwich, and you back to the block.
Right.
Yeah, just never been nowhere. Oh, that go to city boys. Yo, we want to get the hell out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near, it's depressing around here a lot of times. Want to sit and look at you curse Negroes all the time? I want to get out and explore other parts of the world. You know, at least different parts of the damn city. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's like you come in Israel and brothers got that same spirit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you choose not to travel, that's on you. Right. But you know, that's a necessity doing this work, especially when the Most High got you on a certain level and you dealing with the people. You know that we went to Illinois, man. You know, Chicago and Bloomington, and you know, the sisters and the family out there, man, they loved having us there, man. You know, the sisters like, man, this was an incredible weekend. It was so beautiful to have you brothers here, you know, because that YouTube don't always cut it. You know, you need that human presence. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that's all. We just trying to do our work, man. You know, so read on. Some more on that?
Yeah.
Con.
Oh, you got more, Ariah?
Yeah, con.
Read on.
Sirach chapter 34, verse 10.
Bring it out.
He that have no experience knoweth little.
The Lord say, he that have no experience knoweth little.
Con.
So a lot of times, you're not able to do it, or you don't want to do it, or whatever the reason is, so you bitter. Mm-hmm. All right? You angry. Right? Go ahead.
But he that have traveled.
But he that have traveled, go ahead.
Is full of prudence.
Is full of prudence. You know, that's why another thing, when I travel, I'm like, look, man, I ain't going to just be stuck up in somebody's house or whatever. We going to get out and see the city. Because you see different monuments, you see things of that nature. All we going to do is talk about it in camp anyway, or talk about it on the video. But you experiencing different things. You seeing different things. All right? You like, oh, okay, in this city, they do such and such. You know, you learn about the culture. If you ever in that city again, you know how to move, certain things of that nature. All right, go ahead.
When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express.
See that? You travel and you see many things and you understand more than you can express. Because what? You're learning about different places, different cultures. Right? What's the rapper that just got killed?
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. You know, now there's different stories, but they saying how, you know, how you going to take a LA dude's car, what, $300,000 Bentley or something like that, Rolls Royce? Right, and then bring it to Brooklyn and then go back to Cali and then put your address up. You know what I'm saying? So some of the brothers on the West Coast was breaking it down like, yo, that's just like a total disrespect. You know, I mean, anywhere you steal somebody Bentley, they probably going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, it's a coastal thing, like, yo, you gonna do that and then come back out here? Are you serious? You lucky cats ain't trying to get you touched in New York. But then you gonna come back out here to our city? It's like a smack in the face. So when you know the dynamics of a city, it's like, yo, LA dudes look at that like, yo, that's real disrespectful, man. You know what I'm saying? You gonna steal my car, take it to your city, change it all up, then come back to my city and act like you gonna ball out? Come on. So knowing where you at, you know, that's on a carnal level. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you travel, you get experience. You're like, oh, it's like that here. Oh, it's like that. You learn certain slang. You know, a cat come up and say something to you in New York, you're like, all right, that might, in another city, that may mean I'm going to kill you. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that means something else. So, you know, like I said, that's on a carnal level, but you get experience going to different places. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's just a cold disrespect, yo. Out here, like, we look at that as like, yo, you just playing dudes. End up, you know, like I said, I don't know the full, there's different stories coming out. But, you know, whatever, you know, if that's what happened. So a city, you know, cats, like I said, you take somebody Bentley, they more likely than not, if they got money to get a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, they got money to get you high. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even got to get their hands dirty. But then you go and take it, come back to the people's city, and then try to floss? Come on, man. You know, like, yo, we take that as a whole total disrespect out here, man. You know, so you know the dynamics of certain cities, you know, when you deal with them. Okay? All right. There's more on that?
That's it on that.
All right, that's it on that. So let's go to the book of Esther. In the Apocrypha, though. We're going to start in the Apocrypha. Like I said, we probably not going to be able to get through the whole thing for the sake of time, but we'll jump around to key points. And this will be y'all homework, okay? Read the whole book of Esther, and then if we have time, I'll show you how to insert the parts from the Apocrypha into the Bible. But if you're reading and paying attention, you can figure it out yourself. Okay? So go to the rest of Esther in the Apocrypha. All right, and we're going to go to, let me see where I want to start. I want to start how the story begins to just set it up. Yeah, chapter 11. Yeah, verse 2. Chapter 11, verse 2, Salakia.
All right, we're going to go to the book of Esther, chapter 11, and starting at verse 2. Once everybody's there, say Khan.
All right, that's on page 55 in the red Apocrypha. All right, so once again, the brother Shamiali did an excellent job giving a brief description of Purim. Purim is a Hebrew word, Paryum, in the ancient Paleo. It means lots. Because what? The lot was cast to have us destroyed as a nation by Haman and the Edomites and the Greeks, because they want to get rid of Israel and take over the Persian Empire. Right. And they felt like with Mordecai in the way, it would be hard for them to do that. And also, Mordecai wouldn't bow down to Haman. Also, there was generational, there would always be generational tension between Amalek, which that's who Haman came out of. He was a descendant of Amalek, Esau. And the Lord said what? There would always be war between us. So all through our generations, we always had tension with the seed of Amalek, even up until now. That's right. The biggest thing on the earth now is who are the chosen people. That's what it really comes down to. Right. And who runs the earth right now? So-called white Jews. Whether Illuminati, whatever, Catholic Church, the Black Post, a lot of them got so-called Jewish background, man. They just disguise themselves as other people, but a lot of them are Amalek background. Mm-hmm. All right? They come out of them damn Khazars or them Ashkenaz or whatever. Okay? All right. Read on. The rest of the chapter, the book of Esther, chapter 11, verse 2 in the Apocrypha, page 55 in the red Apocrypha. That's where we start. Read that.
Khan. Everyone there say Khan? Khan. This is the book of Esther, chapter 11 and verse 2. In the second year of the reign of Artaxerxes.
This is one of the Persian kings, Xerxes. All right, go ahead.
The Great. In the first day of the month, Nisan, Salakia, Marticus, the son of Jairus, the son of Semai, the son of Sisai, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream.
Right, so you had Benjamin at this time delivered the nation. All right, Thursday night we celebrated the day of Judas Maccabees,
Con.
where Levi delivered the nation under Judas. So the Most High dealt with all the different tribes at different times, delivering the nation.
Con.
Remember when we came into Egypt, Joseph, he showed us love and favor. So the Most High had it where different tribes at different times was aiding and helping the deliverance of Israel. Remember, the ultimate deliverer was H.O.I.
That's right.
out of the tribe of Judah. But the Most High had favor with all the tribes throughout different times. Come on.
Con. Verse 3. Who was a Jew and dwelt in the city of Susa,
Come on.
a great man, being a servitor in the king's court.
Right, so Mordecai, he was a well-respected man in the Persian Empire, even though we was in captivity. Remember, a lot of times Israel rose to prominence even under our enemies. All right, like Daniel, like Joseph again. You know, Joseph, he didn't allow himself to get caught in that adultery. All right, Daniel interpreted the different dreams, and they could see that the Most High was with Daniel. Moses came second in line to Pharaoh. So a lot of times, even in captivity, we still, you know, exalted, and we was right in the neck of the enemy. All right, come on.
Con. Verse 4. He was also one of the captives which Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, carried from Jerusalem with Jeconiah, king of Judea, and this was his dream.
Right, because you had, remember the Babylonian captivity was only 70 years. So you had some Israelites that lived through the Babylonian captivity into the Persian captivity. Right, because it was only 70 years. Right, go ahead.
Con. Verse 5. Behold, a noise of tumult with thunder and earthquakes and uproar in the land.
So the entire story of Purim, before it even happened, the Most High showed it to Mordecai in a dream. That's why it starts out, you got to go to the Apocrypha to start it out, because the entire story, even before you go to Esther in the Bible, it was showed to Mordecai in a dream before it even happened. All right, come on.
Con. Verse 6. And behold, 2 great dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great.
Now the 2 dragons is symbolic to the two main men characters in the story, and we'll clear that up in the end. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 7. And at their cry, all nations were prepared to battle.
Right, because when Haman got the decree under Xerxes to destroy Israel, he had all the nations back him up. All right, go ahead.
Con. That they may fight against the righteous people.
See that? It was not just Haman and the Edomites. He had turned the whole empire against Israel.
Con.
Just like the white man going to do today. All right? Everything going to get blamed on. All the problems of society is going to somehow be our fault.
Right.
And everybody go, you think they hate us now? When this smoke clear, everybody going to come against Israel. That's why the Most High said the angels going to have to protect us. It said, when you read Daniel's 12, Michael going to have to stand up, the great prince. Right? Because what? That's how bad it's going to be.
Yep.
They're going to try to turn everybody against Israel. And guess what? They're going to try to turn everybody against us that's keeping the commandments.
That's right.
It tell you that in Revelation 12:17. All right, come on.
Verse 8. And lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction and great uproar upon the earth.
Right, because it was a decree for Israel to be destroyed as a people. So it was a day of our darkness where they had put out a decree. And when you read in the Persian history, when a decree was made, it couldn't be reversed. It couldn't be reversed except another decree was made to reverse it. All right, come on.
Con. Verse 9. And the whole righteous nation was troubled.
Come on.
Fearing their own evils.
See that? The Lord said the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing our own evils. Go ahead.
And we're ready to perish.
And we're ready to perish because the decree had already been signed. That's like the president signed an executive order. All Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are to be terminated on sight. You'll be in fear, man.
Right.
Because what? You like, we already ain't got no wins. Right. So now it's Esau and all the other nations coming against us? Imagine if Trump just signed that order today or tomorrow. A lot of our people will be in fear, man.
Yep.
All right, because we like, damn, we don't have a chance. Everybody going to come against us now. All right, come on.
Con. Verse 10. Then they cried unto God, and upon their cry as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood.
Come on.
Even much water.
Okay, now the little fountain and the flood is symbolic to something also. We're going to read that later. Come on.
Verse 11. The light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted, and devoured the glorious.
Come on.
Verse 12. Now, when Mardukes, who had seen this dream and what God had determined to do, was awake, he bare this dream in mind, and until night by all means was desirous to know it.
See that? So Mordecai is like, what does this dream mean? Right? So the Most High showed it to Mordecai, the entire story of Purim and Esther. The Lord showed it to Mordecai before it even happened. Okay? All right, go to Job 12. Go Job 15, select it. Job 15 started, yes, Job 15, is that what I want? I want, in a dream, in a vision of a night.
Job 20? Job, dream in the vision of the night?
Yeah.
Job.
You know what I want in a dream, in a vision of a night.
You didn't want
33:15.
Yeah, 33:15, Salakio. Start at 12. Job 33 and 12, Salakio.
It's the book of Job, chapter 33 and verse 12.
When everybody have it, say Khan.
Behold,
Good.
in this thou art not just.
Come on.
I will answer thee that God is greater than men.
See that the Most High is greater than man. The Lord said, look, and I'm going to show you an entire story of what's going to happen to your nation in a dream. Nobody else got the power to do that.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Why doest thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters.
The Lord don't give an account of any of his matters. See, Esau be trying to do that too. Like they're, Kobe Bryant helicopter crashed, and they show you an episode of this. What show was that?
Simpsons.
The Simpsons or whatever that show is. Right. All right, so Esau, he be trying to act like he's foretelling the truth. Remember in The Long Kiss Goodnight, they basically told you they was going to knock down the towers, and The Long Kiss Goodnight was made, I think, in 95, 96. The towers came down in 2001. So Esau be trying to be God, man. He be like, you see, I told you it was going to happen before it happened too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, God? And he do, because sometimes the Most High allow the Illuminati to do certain things. Sometimes he don't. So Esau give you a subliminal message in a movie, and then, a couple of years later, it'll happen. All right? But they be trying to tap into the power of the Most High. The Most High is like, no, you planned it, and I allowed you to do it. All right, Khan?
Just to lock it, just a quick point. My father, he used to work for Hollywood, so he met a couple of famous famous people, and he had asked some of the producers who produce movies and stuff. He said, "What's the secret to producing big movies and stuff?" He said, "You gotta know the scriptures."
Fine.
So that's everything that they showing you is coming from scriptures. Like I had someone else told me that he don't read the Bible because it sounds like he's reading a Marvel movie. I'm like, where do you think they get the Marvel movies from? Right, the Bible.
Right.
That's it on that.
Good. All right, Job 33 and 12 again. Salakia.
This is Job chapter 33, verse 12.
Come on.
Behold, in this thou art not just. I will answer thee that God is greater than men.
Come on.
Why doest thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters.
Right, the Most High ain't got an answer to you. Go ahead.
For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not.
Yeah, sometimes man don't listen to the voice of the Most High.
Right.
Or the Most High showing you things and you still, you're not picking up on it. Or you're not comprehending it. All right, come on.
In a dream.
In a what?
In a dream.
Come on.
In a vision of the night.
Come on.
When deep sleep falleth upon men.
Go ahead.
And slumberance upon the bed.
Right, so that's what happened with Mordecai. He was the Most High came to him in a dream. Go ahead.
Then he openeth the ears of men.
Come on.
And sealeth their instruction.
Right, he seals his instruction. Because he said, look, this is what's going to happen with your nation. You're going to have an entire story that's going to happen with your nation. All right, come on.
That he may withdraw men from his purpose.
He may withdraw men from their purpose. Go ahead.
And hide pride from men.
And hide pride from man. So that man can understand, look, everything is directed by the Most High. We might go left, we might go right. But at the end of the day, your ultimate destiny is of the Most High. Okay? You might rebel, you might go off here and there. All right? But at the end of the day, your ultimate destiny is going to be of the Most High. Go ahead, brother.
God, like the brother say, that's what the scripture say. Man's going is what?
Of the Lord.
It's of the Lord.
Right.
So that's what the brother's bringing out. So he seals the instructions, okay, before you know it. So you thinking you plan, but he already sealed it. And it's talking about even in his sleep, he's already sealed what you're going to do for the day, man. And you think you making them decisions. You already planted. That's why it says it's going is of. You think your going is of your own way. It's of the Most High. That's why Esau can't stop this. Because whatever Esau is doing is of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? That's why the other scripture about the king's heart. What is it again? The king's heart.
Proverbs 21:1.
Right.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Yeah, it is. He can't stop the prophecy. He thinks he's not doing nothing, man. Scripture said the Most High let him create the nuclear destruction for his own waste at the end. In Isaiah 54. So you can't stop these prophecies. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
So go to Esther 1:1. We're just going to read a little bit and then jump into the latter chapters. And then I'll give y'all the chronology. And that'll be that for the sake of time. All right. Esther 1:1. Just read the first couple of verses in the first chapter.
Esther chapter 1, verse 1. Everyone there say Khan?
Go ahead.
Khan. This is the book of Esther chapter 1 and verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces.
Right, so this is the Persian Empire. Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 2. That in those days, when the king of Ahasuerus...
Salakia, out of the four kingdoms that Daniel prophesied, what number and what position is the Persian? By show of hands, don't yell out. Oh, I know you know. Shamyala? Number two, the second kingdom. It was the Babylonian, Medo-Persian, Greek, and then Roman. Okay? That's why the New Testament ends with what empire? I mean, the Old Testament ends with what empire? Anybody? Say it again. Nope. Brother. No, not technically. No. The Romans is Yahushua, the New Testament. What empire does the Old Testament end with? Don't yell out. Maccabees? No. Shamyala? The Persian. Okay? And then the Apocrypha is the Greek Empire. Okay? That's the missing link. That's the missing link. Okay? All right. Then, when you come to the New Testament, the Romans are on the scene during the time of the birth of Yahushua. Okay? So that's the four kingdoms. And people say the Bible is a false book, but yet all these kingdoms existed. You can study these kingdoms. So how could Daniel prophesy thousands of years before if it wasn't of the Most High? A book of made-up stories. What made-up story? You can find all this stuff in history. When we went over Judas Maccabee's Day Thursday night, I don't know if y'all saw it. I was live on Facebook, and then we posted it to H.O.I. It'll be on Awaken Israel in the next day or two. But we went over Judas Maccabees and Nicanor. These are actual figures you can study in history. So how's the Bible made up stories? Scholars know about the Maccabean dynasty. I think Mel Gibson was going to make a movie on the Maccabees. All right, and they know about Nicanor and the Greek generals that came out of Antiochus and that period. So these are real, actual historical figures. So what do you mean there's a book of made-up stories? All right, read on.
Gone. Verse 3. In the third year of his reign, in the third year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces the provinces being before him.
Right, so this is the Medo-Persian Empire, the second empire that Daniel prophesied about. All right, come on.
Come on, verse 4.
This was the ram with the two horns. Remember that in Daniel's 8? This was the ram with the two horns. And one horn was higher than the others because the Persians ruled longer than the Medes. And their kingdom was stronger. All right, come on.
Come on. When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even in 180 days.
Come on.
Verse 5.
180 days, that's 6 months. He was showing off his kingdom for 6 months. All right, go ahead.
And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Come on.
Verse 6. Where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple to silver rings, and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver, upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble.
Right, so even his bed was decked out. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another.
Right, different vessels of gold, all different from one another, all made of gold, right? They was ruling. So they had a rich empire. Right, come on.
The royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king.
Come on.
Verse 8. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Verse 9. Also Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehaman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the seven chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king. Verse 11. To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
Right, so he was just boasting about his kingdom. He said, I showed off my kingdom for 6 months, then I did a royal feast. Now let me show everybody my lady. All right, so he's boasting in his rulership.
Right.
He's showing off his rulership. So the icing on the cake was, look, let me show everybody my beautiful woman now. God has showed you my kingdom. We done had a big party.
God.
I'm feeling good on the wine. Let me show off my woman now.
God.
Good?
God.
That was the completion right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he got a fine wife. Whoa. This cat is ruling. God, so he was, that's why the nations can't get mad when we come back in power.
Right.
Y'all had your time.
That's right.
Y'all cats was showing off y'all kingdom for 6 months. So y'all can't get mad when it's our turn, God. Who got next?
We got next.
God. Bring it out.
But like the brother said, they had, but nobody wants to give it up though.
Right, nobody wants
That's
to give
the
it
thing.
up.
Right.
Nobody wants to give anything up, brother. You see what I'm saying? Like the brother said. You got Mike Tyson crying now. He's 50 years old. He still want to be the champ of the world? No. It's your time. You got your time, bro. Give it up, man. He was rocking with Bobby Brown and Ghostbuster days, and you know what I mean, enjoying it. It's over, man. And nobody
had
want
the
to give
street
it up.
time.
Yeah,
He had the street time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's time to give it up.
give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Salaki, he even got a cartoon show right now too.
Good.
Right.
And 50 is a blessing, man.
Exactly.
All right, nobody really want to get old, but it's a blessing. With age comes wisdom.
Right.
Just take care of yourself so the Most High can give you as much time as you can have.
Con.
Kind of then now, you in your age, you always look at wisdom. You always look at what you could pass down to people before you because of your experience and your wisdom. Now you can guide the youth. You can guide the ones that want to listen. You know what I'm saying? But that's what age. That's what comes with age. You know, wisdom. Yo, I had my time. I did this. I did that. Whatever. Now, if you didn't seize your time, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta seize your moment. Okay?
Just got a precept real quick. The book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 17. Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
Right.
So you know, we basically how the elder said, you know, you did your time now. You know what I'm saying? Now, what are you gonna pass down to the next generation that's coming up? You know what I'm saying? You did the labor, you labored, but not for yourself. Now you got to do it for the others that's coming up now. Because you know, you guys are the next generation of brothers and sisters that's gonna be, you know, the next leaders of the world. Okay.
Read on.
Con.
And Esther, what we have 1 and
verse 12.
12. Go ahead.
Con, the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
Come on.
Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. Verse 14. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, Athmatha, Tarshish, Mears, Marshina, Marcina, and Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and which sat the first in the kingdom.
Right, so some of his top men. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlain.
Right, so she rebelled. So this first chapter is important because of the queen's rebellion, that's why he went and got Esther to become the new queen, and that's how she made her way into being a queen and into the royal house to be able to save and deliver Israel later on when Esau wanted to destroy us. All right, so the beginning of the story is important. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 14. Oh, verse 15. Slaki. What shall we do unto
16.
Oh, Slaki. Yeah, verse
Go
16. And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king.
Right, because if she rebelled against the king, then look, no woman got to respect her husband. The queen do what she wants. She don't respect her husband. So now that's going to trickle down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now all the other women going to feel like they don't have to respect their husbands. All right, come on.
The king Ahasuerus.
That's
Right.
what I feel like, y'all. Remember in the world?
Huh?
She used to say, yo, keep your shorty in order,
Right,
son.
right.
That's going to mess the whole crew up.
Right.
There's a reason why they said that.
There's a
That's
reason
just
why
what
they
it
said
is.
that, yeah.
You know?
You can't control your girl, son. We will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the reason why they used to say that, man.
Yeah, man.
That was you know.
You know what I'm saying? Your girl to make the whole block hot, you know? Yeah, man. You know, some of the dudes, you know.
Yeah, that's how they
even
used
though
to
it was
say
from a street level, but it had certain principles.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead.
Come on. For this, verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
Yeah, the women will start hating their husbands in their eyes and start getting proud. The queen don't listen to her man, so why should I? All right, come on.
When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Right, she said, no, I'm over here partying with the women.
Right.
I ain't coming over here.
Right.
It's ladies' night. Right?
God.
And the feeling's right. You know what I'm saying? Right? Remember, Beyonce and them said, ladies, leave your man at home. Yeah, she said, look, man, I'm out partying.
Right.
I ain't coming up there. I'm with my girls having a good time. All right? Go ahead, brother.
And Shalaki, and that's why we got to keep order too. That's why we can't have no ribs out there teaching. You know what I mean?
Right, gotta be an
Prophets.
order.
There has to be an order. You know what I mean? And man, having that's out of order. You know what I mean?
Way out of
Having your
order.
woman prophesy in the streets.
Right.
No, the Lord brought order, man. Law and order. There's always law and order, brother. In everything we do, it got to be law and order. So you can't have that. You can't have the woman out there, you know what I mean, prophesied and you sitting back. You know what I mean? Come on, that's not how the Lord set it up, man. You know what I mean? That's what this is also going into, because that'll cause everybody to rebel. You know what I mean? So, get the scripture, brother.
Hell no.
Read, brother, read.
Hell no.
Come on, man. It has to be law and order, man.
Divorce in all capital letters. I don't give a damn what nobody says. Most of y'all shall have mercy. I know you said only leave your woman for adultery, but hell no. Rebellion is spiritual adultery, goddammit. Right?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. God. All right, read on.
God, verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes,
Come on.
which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Right, because, men going to be choking their wives, domestic violence, fights going to be breaking out. What you say back to me, woman? Well, the queen ain't got to listen to the king. Because it's going to cause too much wrath in the empire. All right, go ahead.
Come, verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered. That Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus.
Right, he put her away. Remember, the scriptures say, if she will go not as thou would have her. Remember, it tells you that in Sirach. Write her a bill in a divorce and let her go. That was just total rebellion, man. That was like worse than being with another man. Okay? All right, go ahead.
And let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire,
Go ahead.
for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, be both to great and small.
So now, he said, listen, man, I'm going to put her away because she's rebellious, and all the women in the empire got to reverence their husbands. He signed a decree. Every man got to have respect in his household amongst his wife. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Come, verse 21. And the same pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Right. It said, listen, the man is the head of his household. We got to make a decree and establish that. Because what Vashti did, that can get amongst the other women and they start rebelling. So let it be publicly known, Vashti is no more the queen. I'm putting her away, and every man bears rule in his household. Okay? All right, go ahead. 2 and 1.
Khan, this is Esther chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done, and what was decreed against her. Verse 2. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
Go ahead.
And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the woman, to the house of the women, unto the custody of H.O.I, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things And so like, and let their things for purification be given them.
Go ahead.
And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
Go ahead.
Now in Shushan the palace was Now in Shushan the palace there was a certain Jew, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
Go ahead.
Who had been carried.
Read that 5th verse again.
Khan. Now in Shushan the palace there was a certain Jew.
See that? So although Mordecai was a Benjamite, he was still called a Jew. All right, because that was in the Old Testament, that was the southern kingdom, and then even in the New Testament, all the tribes were eventually called Jews. All right, read on.
Khan. Whose name was Mordecai.
I know Judah want to claim that for ourselves, but that's the whole nation. All right, go ahead.
Christ said, "For salvation is of the Jews."
God.
He included the northern kingdom as well.
That was the whole nation. All right, God. Right, Negro only Israelites. Only Negroes is Jews. Right, Aitar, Simeon, y'all gotta go.
Oh man.
Right, y'all too light. Y'all not dark enough. Right.
You got to put me in the sun for a little bit.
Elijah.
I got a question. When you talk about, actually, I got 2 questions about the things you just said.
I cannot hear you.
Speaking about the whole situation with the Jew thing, right? Is that just in the English translation, or is that in the Hebrew translation as well? When they use that terminology?
Well, Jew is just short for Yahweh or Judah. All right, but it became just a thing that the whole nation was called. Just a word that the whole nation was called.
In Hebrew?
What do you mean in Hebrew?
See, when you read the Bible, you read the Bible in English.
Right.
You see words, you see times where they insert the word Jew instead of Israel.
Most of the time, it will say Yahweh. All right, which is short for Judah. All right. Who else? Oh, you said you had 2 questions.
Yeah, the other one was about the whole woman thing about the man being the head, right? Now, is that only for married couples, or does that mean that the man, according to 11 and 3, I think that's 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, that the man is the head of every woman is the man. Now, I was having a conversation with a sister, and I told her that every man in the body of Israel is your head. You don't have a husband. And she said, that's bullshit. That how is her head if she doesn't have a husband?
No, her elder would be her head. If she was under a congregation, her elder would be her head. If she's not under a congregation, then some elder is her head. Because I got like sisters will come to me and say, well, I'm not part of any congregation and I don't have a husband. Can you be like a head to me, brother? And I'd be like, well, sure, sis, because you don't have a man in your life or whatever. So any elder really should be their head. Of course, if you say every man in Israel is your head, she's going to rebel. But it really should be an elder that's her head. Okay? Because every Negro in Israel ain't going to guide the sister the right way. You know what I'm saying? Most probably want to get with her. And, so her head is whoever's going to guide her in the spirit in the right way. But if every brother have good intentions, yeah, they're spiritually like a head to her. If they have the right intentions for the sister to guide her, she's not married and don't have a father that's in the truth, or older brother that's in the truth, or uncle that's in the truth, then those all can be considered heads also. Mm-hmm. But every brother that have her best interest to guide her, yes, they're like a head to her. Until she get married. That's why a lot of times we tell Israel, before you get married, come and get counseling from us. You know what I'm saying? Come and let us get, especially if you don't have a father in the truth, or your father's in the world, he's simple, whatever the case may be. Come and get spiritual guidance, all right, so we can guide you, so we can be your head and make sure that brother is going to be a good head to you. But no, these sisters, they let a brother sneak up on them, get their number. He ain't got to tell priest Torah. He ain't got to know our business. What a man or a woman do is their business. You know what I'm saying? No, come and get counseling, because we might could say, sis, that brother ain't ready for you. You know what I'm saying? That brother got some stuff he got to work on. You know what I'm saying? Brother, that sister ain't ready for you. That sister got some stuff she got to work on. But Israel is so thirsty, you know what I'm saying? You want to sneak and creep and don't come and get spiritual advice. We don't care about your damn relationship. Whoever want to be with whoever is fine. Right. But come and get some spiritual guidance. That's so your act. Are you ready for a wife? You know, sister, are you ready for a husband? Don't come in Israel 5 minutes, you all lonely, and you just want to jump into a relationship, because then what? You're going to end up coming to us later anyway. When things go wrong, you always want. We didn't even know y'all was together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, now you damn 8 months pregnant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, damn, I didn't even know y'all was together. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to come and get advice from us when things are going sour. Israel is good for that. You know how many inboxes I get? We ain't got no elder or no camp elder, but can you be our elder and fix our marriage? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Israel, we worship our households. You know what I'm saying? That's the most inquiries I get is relationships, because everybody put that relationship before the Most High. Instead of putting the Most High first, then He'll keep your relationship together. Okay? It's a balance. So don't go creeping and oh, I like that brother. He cute. He always got the nice gold fringes on. And he handsome. I'm going to sneak and get his number. We going to go. We ain't got to tell the elders nothing. That mind ain't business. Right. You know what I'm saying? Israel get real disrespectful when it comes to their relationships. Right. They get real disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You elder with anything else, but mind your business with the sister I like over there in the pink skirt with the gold fringes, man. Damn, she fine. Elder ain't got to be in my business. Nah, come on. Now, you talking to somebody outside and you teaching them and you're going to eventually bring them in. That's different. That's your business. But if it's amongst the body and brothers and sisters, we always see each other and you know, around each other, come get some counseling, get some advice. Because you're going to end up coming to us anyway. When y'all get together and the problems start happening, you're going to come to us anyway. You're going to be like, well, damn, I didn't even know you and the sister was talking. All right, and like I said, don't be thirsty, man. Before you even approach a sister to like get a number or something, or a sister think about liking a brother, get some advice. Or, you know, let us know, I kind of like that brother. No, sister, go sit down and learn some scriptures. You just got here a month ago. You looking at a man for? Go learn something. Mm-hmm. Brother, you just coming out of the world. You got stuff you got to work on. You got to get yourself together. Stop being thirsty. Right. The Most High will give you a wife in His truth. Just sit down, learn your precepts, do what you got to do, follow the camp protocol. All that will come in due time. But nobody wants to listen. Mm-hmm. So that's what end up happening. Right. Then you're going to end up coming to us anyway. Right? Because you want us to fix it now. When we could have fixed it in the beginning. We could have said, hold up, brother. Hold up. You got to get yourself together some more, brother. You ain't ready for no wife right now. We can read spirits. We're not stupid. We've been doing this 20, 30 years, some of us. The Most High give us insight and wisdom. Our brother need to go sit down somewhere. He ain't ready for no wife. He ain't got himself together. Okay? All right, so it's always good, especially you sisters, because the woman's the weaker vessel. A brother get in your ear and tell you any damn thing. You'll say, you ain't got to go to the elders, sister. Yeah, I've heard sisters have told me that. This brother wanted to talk to me, but I told him, well, maybe I should go to the elders and get some advice. Nah, they ain't got to be in our business, sis. And then what happened? You're going to end up, that's that same brother that told the sister not to go to you, he going to end up coming to you when he see you a demon. This woman is off, elder. I know I should have told y'all I was talking to her, but you know now. Elder, what can I do, elder? Can you give me a scripture or something? I ain't got a damn thing for you. Because you ain't coming to the beginning. You ain't cut us in the beginning. Okay? So don't be thirsty, y'all. Give yourself time. Get rooted in this truth. Learn the scriptures. Change your spirit. Especially if you knew you got old things in the world, worldly ways you got to get rid of. The Most High want to make you a good man so you can be a good husband. The Most High want to make you a good woman so you can be a good wife. Stop rushing and being so thirsty. Okay? All right, so read on. We're going to get through this and speed it up for the sake of time. Go ahead.
Verse 6. who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
Good.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther.
Now, one of the most popular names in Israel for sisters. Every other sister is Hadassah. Go ahead.
His uncle's daughter.
Come on.
For she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
Right, so he was a relative of hers that took her for his daughter once her parents died. Come on.
So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of Hegai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house, to the custody of Hegai, keeper of the women.
Good.
Verse 9. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. Esther had not showed her people, nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
So now Mordecai, he had the dream, and now the Most High started to manifest stuff to him. So he said, listen, don't tell the people what nationality you are. That proves what? That the different nations were dark. All right, so they didn't really know. They didn't know she was Israel. So he said, don't tell them, because what? That's going to be important for the future. All right, because what? Remember, the Lord had already showed Mordecai in the dream. So now stuff is starting to manifest to him. All right, come on.
Come on. And Mordecai walked every day from the court of the house of the women's house, to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Come on.
Now when every maid...
This is similar to when Joseph was sold and he ended up in Egypt. Later on, he was utilized to help Israel. It was something bad that happened at first. His brothers was hating on him. His coat of many colors.
Right.
All right, Cass was hating. That coat must have been majestic, man. You know what I'm saying? So they sold him, but later on, it was for the benefit when Israel came into Egypt. So now Esther, she's going to become the queen. Which what? We're not supposed to deal with the other nations. But it's going to be utilized, what? To deliver Israel as a nation later on. And the Most High did it this way to show, no matter what position he put us in, he's still the one that's in charge and in power. And he's the one that put you in that position for a greater purpose. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women, for so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women.
Yeah, not for nothing. Some of these women need that today. Right? Yeah, I know the curse in Isaiah.
Right.
It said a sweet smell shall be I mean, it is what it is. That's what the scriptures say. All right, no offense to our sisters in here, but it is what it is. All right, read on.
Verse 13. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the women, to the custody of Shaashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the king, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Hegai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her.
Right, the Israelite woman, she came in and knocked everybody out. All right, why? Because we got the most beautiful women amongst our nation. Right?
That's right.
So Esther came in and stole the show. All right, go ahead.
So Esther,
fine, Benjamin.
That's
Right,
right.
go ahead.
Yum yum.
Good.
So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Go ahead.
And the king loved Esther above all the women.
Go ahead.
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
All right, you can stop right there. All right, so basically, I just want to set it up how Esther became queen. So now, her position is going to be used through Mordecai to deliver Israel from the decree of Haman and the Edomites and all the nations to destroy Israel as a people. Okay? We're going to jump to chapter 9 for the sake of time and just read the main point of the feast day. Chapters 9 and 10, they're short, and then get a couple other points and start winding it down. Now, start at 1.
Okay.
Now, we're going to show y'all, like I said, throughout the day tomorrow and throughout the rest of the year, you can read the story, the entire story on your own. Because it's vast. There's a lot of points, man. We'll be here till like 5 in the morning.
Right.
Of I trying to break, and then the history, that's a whole nother thing. So we're just going to get to the key point of what we're here celebrating tonight. Okay? All right, Salakia, y'all. And we have more time, we would go through the whole story. All right. Esther chapter 9 and verse 1. We're going to just read chapters 9 and 10.
Everyone there say Khan? Khan. Esther chapter 9 and verse 1. Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same.
Now that's what we celebrated Thursday night, but that was the day of Judas Maccabees, which was a different empire later on. Remember, this is still Persia. The day of Judas got set up during the Greek Empire. All right, go ahead.
Khan. When the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be in execution, in the day of the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
Right, so the decree that Esau, Haman, the Edomites set up to have all of Israel destroyed, Esther and Mordecai was able to plead to the king because of her position to have that decree overturned. And a new decree made that Israel were allowed to defend themselves and destroy all of our enemies that want to kill us. All right, come on.
Verse 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Come on.
To lay hand on such as sought their hurt.
Right, imagine that, man. Imagine if we can go out right now and kill everybody that we know hate us, everybody that we know is against us, everybody we know that's plotting on us, everybody we know that's putting poisonous food in our cities, and right, all that, these damn Moabites.
Right.
All right, every Moabite you see, they got coronavirus. Exterminate them. All right, imagine, man, all that years of frustration and anger for what they've been doing to us.
Right.
That go to show you we had enemies and we had a right to fight our enemies. We too busy out here killing each other.
Right.
All right? The Lord said what? His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. It's a curse, man. It's that hatred we got for each other is a curse. That drug dealer from New York, Alpo, that dude Alpo, that cat, he confessed to 14 bodies and said it was many more. And he said, yo, when I was in the street, I was never scared of nothing. I kill a dude like that. He said, when I got scared? When I had to stand before that white man in that robe. I was like, what? You were scared for that? But that show you that curse, man. You see how we got so much energy and power and courage and hatred to kill each other at the drop of a hat. The man said when he stood in court in front of the white judge, he was scared to death. I was like, that's why he snitched, because he didn't want to go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I said, that gotta be a curse. How could you say I was never scared of nothing in the street? I killed 14 dudes and I could have confessed them all. But when I got in front of that white judge, I was scared to death. That if that's not a curse, I don't know what it is.
Right.
Come on, it got to be a thing in our mind of self-hatred, that demon that the Most High put on us. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
Right.
You got all that courage in the street. Blow a cat head off at the drop of a hat, another black man, like there's nothing. But you scared just to stand in front of a white judge.
Right.
Right? At least Tupac told the judge, only God can judge me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right? And the dude Shock G from Humpty, he was like, yo, I'd never seen a black man so powerful. He said you could feel Tupac energy when he told that judge, only God can judge me. But that dude got up in there and said he was scared to death of the white judge. But he killed 14 of his own people like it was nothing. Jake is a coward deep down inside, and that curse is on him. You got all that energy and power to kill your own in the street, but scared to death of an old, decrepit white judge that probably got a damn little boy under the damn bench that he molested. You know what I'm saying? But you fear that. That go to show you it's a curse, man. All right, go ahead.
Speaking of that guy, the quick story, funny that you bring him up. Because I know somebody in the streets that knows him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, yo, he's off. He needs to repent for what he did to all his people.
Right.
This dude is he's in 125th Red Rooster, or wherever he's at.
Right.
This dude actually told the dude, well, if he got a problem with me, he need to come see me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, this nigga from 88, like,
Yeah.
88 is over, bro.
88
you know
is
what I
over,
mean?
man.
Who the hell am me to even want to come see you? Like, what's the point of it? I just told the dude that knows him, I was like, yo, all the stuff he did, he need to repent. But he's still arrogant like that. But I hear now from what I'm hearing, he's saying he's going to do a podcast and he's going to talk about, try to save the youth. You know what I mean? But that arrogancy is still there, man.
Yeah, that's just a curse, man. That's a curse.
Crazy.
You know?
Still arrogant.
Yeah, so read on.
Khan. Where we at? Verse 3?
3, yeah.
Khan. And all the rulers of provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and officers of the king helped the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Go ahead.
For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
Right, he was great because what? He put the Most High first.
Khan.
There was also a part in the story where you're going to read where Haman wanted him to bow down to him. And Mordecai said, I bow to no man but the Most High.
Right.
And when you read the history, Haman actually had a ring, an image of a demon on a ring that he wanted Mordecai to bow down and kiss. Like they kissed the Pope on ring in the hand.
Right.
Yeah, the same thing. When you read deeper into the history, you got to go into history to read that. But it tells you that he actually wanted Mordecai to bow down and kiss his satanic ring. He had an image of Satan on the ring. I think Who's Who in the Bible, I read that in. One of my books I got in the history, and it tells you that. It was an actual image that he wanted Mordecai to bow down and kiss. Just, they do the same thing with the Pope. Same spirit of Esau, okay? All right, read on. So that's why the tension grew also between Haman and Mordecai also, because he wouldn't bow down to him. All right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies.
So we killed all of our enemies. Come on.
With the stroke of the sword.
This is the scripture that we need to read, man. Our people. It's okay to fight against and kill our enemies, not each other. Yo, that nigga was mean mugging me. Nigga looked at me too hard, son.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? White man stare at you every day.
Right.
Ride Bob, whoop, whoop. What you doing, nigga?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? stare you up and down. You ain't got nothing for him. You scared.
Keep that same energy.
Just keep that same energy.
Right.
You ain't really about that life, son.
Right.
You ain't really ready to die. You want to kill your own people and then go to jail and brag about it.
Right.
All right. And then a lot of dudes are scared of jail. You know what I'm saying? They get on the first 48 and start crying. You know what I'm saying? You was all bold when you caught that body.
Right.
I didn't do it, sir. I'm telling you.
That's real.
Yeah, man. You scared to death.
Right.
Because sometimes you go to jail and you meet the real criminals. You might have put in a little work in the street, think you're doing something, but you know you go to jail, you're going to meet dudes that's really like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they had that Scared Straight program and all that.
Right.
Like, you young boys don't really want to come up in here. These are real hardcore criminals doing life. Dudes that was really about that. Dudes that shot at cops and all that.
Right.
That killed cops and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, let's get rid of that goofy curse, man. It's so simple to hate your own people and go down the street and stare at your own brother. I got beef with them niggas over there. Over what, man?
Right.
Because they live on 127th and you live on 132nd. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas from 27, I don't get along with them. It's just the stupidity, pure stupidity. But everybody's scared of the damn white man.
Yeah.
You're a damn coward when it comes to the real enemy. It's unbelievable. All right, go ahead.
Come on. I'm gonna go back to verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword.
So it's okay to defend yourself against your enemies. All right, revolution is a biblical thing. All right, come on.
And slaughter and destruction.
Come on.
And did what they would unto those that hated them.
Because they want to do it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You think these nations right now, if they could wipe all of us out, they wouldn't do it?
Oh, no.
They hate our guts, man.
God.
The only thing us being alive does for them is build their economy. All right, what like the so-called Jews call us, they call us liquid money.
Yeah.
All right, they call us liquid money. Like you pour water into your hand and it can't really stay in there. You try to hold it, but it leaks out. That's what the so-called Jews say. They said y'all money leaves y'all like water in your hand. You no matter how much you try to keep it amongst your community, it's gonna come to us. That liquid, that water is going to spill out of that hand eventually. No matter what you do to try to keep that water in your hand, it's going to spill. So you Negroes can't keep your money in your own community. You blacks and Hispanics can't do it because you're like liquid. All right, you're going to that money going to eventually spill out into us. All right, because you can't hold it. You can't hold that money in your community. Right. All right, go ahead.
Verse 6. And in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
Come on.
And Pershadatha, and Dalphon, and Aspatha, and Paratha, and Adaliah, and Araditha, so like Aradatha, and Parmashta, and Arisai, and Aridai, and Vajaditha. Verse 10. The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoil laid they not their hand.
Right, so they killed all their enemies, and then they killed Haman's 10 sons. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11.
And what was the significance of killing all his sons? Who? So he can't rise up, his seed can't raise up and keep that fight against us going. All right, Khan? Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 11. On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king.
Right, because when you're a man, you leave your legacy through your male children. You can do it through your female children also, but you leave it through your male children. All right, you have a male child to keep your legacy going on and your spirit and your line going. All right, and sometimes you don't have no, like Malcolm. Malcolm X has 6 daughters, but his legacy is enough. You know what I'm saying? Just alone to where it leaves behind. But he didn't have no sons. All right, he had all daughters. All right, bring it out.
Right, but they killed his grandson once he started acknowledging and coming back to that strong spirit.
His daughter's son.
Yeah, because they knew he was going to have influence, man.
You
know what I mean? So, yeah, but like the brother, just to land me back what the brother was saying, man. Like, when you fighting against your own people, like these stories is about fighting against the nations, man. That's weak to be going up against your own people. It's like suicide. Suicide. I don't respect no so-called gangster that killed his own people, man. Mm-hmm. The real gangsters was the ones that fought against the enemy.
That's right.
I even give them, the Black Panthers and some of them, respect. At least they went up against the police force and the demons that was going up against our people. That's real warriors, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So all, like we was talking about, all these gangsters that they on the internet now, and they need to repent, man. They did destruction to the community, man. The crack epidemic, all of that destroyed our people, and we still not just trying to come from. And they don't want to repent, man. The Most High gonna punish them, man. You know what I mean? And we gotta move strong, man. We don't fear none of these dudes, man. And we gotta have that spirit. You know what I mean? Because H.O.I didn't fear them, man. To tell them when they wrong, man, and what's gonna happen to them, man. And then the Most High gonna protect you, man. You know what I mean? You can't have that fearful spirit, man. Because if you do, the Most High can't use you, man. You know? John the Baptist got put in prison, man. You know what I mean? For telling what the man was doing, what the man was doing was wrong, man. They put him in prison for that, man. You see? So you can't be fearful, man, because the Most High can't use you, man. You can't be fearful of nobody.
John the Baptist wasn't in the truth, though. How the hell was John the Baptist not in the truth when he rebuked the Edomite leader for adultery?
Exactly.
He not even Israel. Of course, he rebuked Israel for sin, but he rebuked the Edomite ruler for adultery, and he got put in jail and eventually beheaded.
Right.
He was a martyr for the word, but he wasn't in the truth. Like I said, some doctrines, it's 2020, man. We moving on. We looking forward to the chariots, man.
Right.
We'll leave that back there, man. All right, the mothership can't save you, so you gonna get left. we try to get on the mothership. Yeah, I'm not trying to say who's gonna be saved or not. Don't get me wrong, but brothers, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop it. And if that's what you want to believe, that's on you. But forward moving.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Come, verse 12. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace. And the 10 sons of Haman.
See, that killed off all his sons, so it could be no line or legacy to keep it going. Like the brother said, they killed Malcolm X's son. I mean, a grandson. Even though it wasn't from his direct line, but, you know, coming through his daughter. It's still that energy. And then, like you said, if he raised up just from the legacy of his grandfather, you know, people going to follow. It's power. You know what I'm saying? That's why they killed Tupac, too. Because he was from that Black Panther line. They didn't forget that. They show you that in the movie. You know, Tupac, he was like, I feel like I've been targeted since I was born. Yeah, because your family was in the Panthers. You've been targeted since you was born. Remember, they tried to kill Tupac in prison? They tried to kill him. A few times they tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I feel like I've been targeted since I was a child. Yeah, they've been watching you. So same thing, even though that wasn't Malcolm's line, but it was his grandson through his daughter. And Esau was like, that could be dangerous. See that? So there's nothing wrong with us standing against our enemies. They damn sure against you. When you watch that documentary on Netflix, Who Killed Malcolm X? The Edomite said he listened to Malcolm from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Every day. He said that was his schedule. About 8 o'clock in the morning, he started his day to 10 o'clock at night. He said every phone call, every day, I had to listen to Malcolm X. Esau's a beast, man. That's how much they hate you. And J. Edgar Hoover's COINTELPRO, they was like, there will not be a black Messiah. Damn, who sits there and just listen to phone conversations all day like that? That's 14 hours.
Wow. Right.
He said that was his job every day. He was part of the NYPD intelligence that the FBI set up. All right, and they said he every day just listen from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Just listening to his conversations. So our enemies damn sure on us. So So why we can't stand up against them? All right, and then they always get us to betray each other, man.
Yeah.
When you watch that thing, man, you know, when the tension rose between Malcolm and Elijah Muhammad, all the jealous dudes came out, man. All the dudes that hated Malcolm, that wanted his position, that was envious, and they ate that up.
They ate it up.
They ate it up. So now all that internal stuff. We told you, dear holy apostle, he was no good. Yeah, nigga, you was coveting his position the whole time, man.
God.
So they was inching. They wanted it. They now we got a reason to kill him. Along with the FBI and the CIA and everybody plotting against him. All right, now we got a reason to kill because we always hated you anyway. We always wanted your spot. You know what I'm saying? We always wanted your spot. You can see a speech Malcolm was doing and Farrakhan was just sitting on the side.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Just hating.
God.
So now they got an excuse to kill him, man. You know what I'm saying? And they killed a man in front of his children, man. Between Esau, sellout Muslims, agent Muslims, they didn't have a heart, man.
Yeah, God.
And cats like Bumpy Johnson, like respect dudes like that.
Yeah.
That cat told a white man, "Don't cross 110th Street. Do not cross. You devils cannot." Outside of Luciano and them, and the Italians he was working with, he said, "You white people cannot cross 110th Street." He was gangster, but he looked out for his own people.
Yeah.
And he told Malcolm, he said, "I can have 100 men. I can put 100 armed men to protect you." And Malcolm said, "No, I don't want a bloodbath in Harlem."
Yeah.
He said, because he said, "I know what the Nation of Islam is capable of, and I know what your gangsters are capable of."
Yeah.
So he's like, "We're going to have your crew and the black Muslims killing each other." He said, "We're going to have a bloodbath all over Harlem." But Bumpy told him, "Let me protect you."
Yeah.
He told Malcolm, "Let me protect." When it started getting tight, you know, with the Muslims, he said, "Yo, I can get 100 armed men. I can have 100 armed men all over Harlem to protect you." And he was like, "Nah, it's going to cause a bloodbath. You're going to have your crew and the Muslims just killing each other all over Harlem." Yeah, he loved his people that much that he said, "I'd rather just die because I know they're going to kill me. But if I let you protect me, we're going to have a bloodbath all over Harlem."
Right.
All right, but Bumpy had it like that. He said, "I'll put 100 armed men on you right now. Just give me the word." He said, "We could protect you, Malcolm." And he's like, "Nah, it's just going to be too much killing." You know, and then they killed him. Oh, Maccabees, you got your hand up? Yeah, go.
They had locked up Bumpy Johnson up, I think, about 2 weeks before they actually killed him.
Wow. Yeah, check
that out. Something you can watch it on with Professor Smalls.
Good.
It's on Sinetta or whatever. He was basically breaking down. No, as a matter of fact, it's on the show Flip the Script. He breaks down the whole story of Malcolm X and his relationship with Bumpy Johnson, and how when Malcolm X went over into the Middle East, that's when they really wanted to kill him, because America was just starting to do, starting with the oil, getting oil from over there and everything.
Right.
And trade and everything. So that would cause the big problem.
Come
over there and those leaders, telling those people like, listen, America's not what you really think it is.
Right.
Because they was trying to push that American dream stuff. So if you watch Flip the Script, they have a whole thing on that.
And when you check it out, that was a way to get Bumpy out of the way, because they knew they was going to knock Malcolm off. That's why it said none of the cops showed up at the Autobahn ballroom and all that. The security was real lax, because they knew they was like, we gotta move now. But they said, listen, man, if Malcolm would have let certain people try to protect them, but it was all of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Bring it out.
Yeah, God. That's why when J. Edgar Hoover saw who was going to be the real leader, who was the most threat, he said it was Malcolm. He didn't say it was King. He didn't say it was King, and he didn't say it was Elijah Muhammad. He said Elijah Muhammad was too old at the time, and King was using the nonviolence movement, and they knew that nonviolence movement would not get over. But Malcolm had all of that, because Malcolm was from the streets, and he didn't know how to deal with the so-called educated Negro, and he knew how to deal with the gangsters. So he had the full package, man. And you know what I mean? And when a lot of times, that's why the Most High say the men that cry inside, that's who you go after. A lot of the street level cat. But the educational Negroes, they too docile. it was always the street cats, like the cats in the pool hall. Them crackers coming, how many guns you need? They the ones that's ready. You know, the educated Negro is no disrespect, but not saying anything wrong with education, but a lot of times when you go, you get too docile and you talk about, you know, you don't, that revolutionary spirit a lot of times is taken out of you. But the street Negro don't care. Like we used to alley
I ain't got nothing to
Remember
lose anyway.
We had a couple of alley cats in the camp. You used to go.
We used to call them alley cats.
Cat. They would go out. They don't care.
They don't care, man.
You know what I mean? So that's the mentality, man. In Ezekiel 9, men the sighing and crying. Those are gonna be the men. You know, they talked about the LA riots, or the riots when Martin Luther King happened. What they call the high school dropouts. They said those were the ones that really started it all, man. And it was wilding out. Yeah, you know what I mean? With the pride. Yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
Read on.
Verse.
We're going to finish up 9 and 10 and get ready to wind it down. Go ahead.
Go back to verse 12. Verse 12. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done.
Come on.
Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
Right, because when you read the 6th chapter, it tells you that the 5th and the 6th chapter, I believe it is. But y'all see it when y'all go through the story. Haman wanted to hang Mordecai on the gallows. All right, but the Most High reversed it and had Haman and his 10 sons hung on the gallows. You see that lynching spirit. All right, that same spirit today, like Patrick Lynch, a nigga, the police benevolent association guy. The man's name is Lynch, man.
Right.
And every time they kill a Jake, which is a modern day lynching, he runs right there to defend them. No, we lynched that nigga and we're gonna protect our officers. The man's name is Patrick Lynch. We just did a video like that in Brooklyn, making mockery of all the people's names and stuff. Most I be giving them names and they be fitting their names. Right? He's always the first one there, man. That we gotta protect our officers. He was just doing his job. When they choked out on my man Eric Gardner. He was right there. You know what I'm saying? When they shot Akai Gurley, he was right there. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's there to help the NYPD modern day lynch our brothers, and they get away with it.
That's right.
All right, and he's the one that be getting them all that money. Like if they get suspended, or which is rare, but you know they be having all kinds of GoFundMes and different police benevolent funds and all that, and them cats they kill Jake and get paid. All right, his family's gonna need to be taken care of the rest of their lives. All right, go ahead.
Verse 14. And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
Go ahead.
For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month of Adar.
Which is the 12th month Adar. All right, that was last night. But the Purim actually started last night. Tonight is actually the 15th day or the 2nd day of Purim. Go ahead.
And slew 300 men at Shushan, but on the prey they laid not their hand.
Right, they killed them, but they didn't take any spoils as of yet. Go ahead.
But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies.
Come on.
And slew of their foes 75,000, but they laid not their hands on the prey.
So right, so they got a decree to defend themselves against their enemies, and they slew those that was about to slay them. Go ahead.
On the 13th day of the month of Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
Come on.
But the Jews that were in Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
So the 13th day was them assembling, but the actual 2 days of celebration was the 15th, the 14th and 15th. Right, go ahead, which was last night and tonight when you go by the Hebrew calendar and the new moon, the dark moon. All right, that's what we follow. Not the crescent, not the half moon, not the full moon, the dark moon. That's the new moon when it's fresh, it's just beginning. Okay?
God.
You know, Israel, they got dates and stuff all over the place. Some people having Passover now. Some people, it was Purim for them last week. I don't know. I'm not knocking nobody, though. Not knocking nobody, you know. Celebrate your feast days when you have to, but that's how we do it here at H.O.I. Short and sweet and to the point. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions to one another.
So Purim, you can give out gifts, all right? Since you missed out on Christmas, you can give gifts on Purim. Right? I ain't got nothing for y'all but my presents. My gift to y'all is Shalom. We're here. Good? That's my gift. Maybe I'll get y'all next year. All right? But, you know, you can give gifts during the Purim. Okay? And you can also give to the poor and the less fortunate. All right?
No, I was just going to say that I heard some brothers saying that, oh, this is the Christmas, this is our Christmas. You know, and then they was just basically trying to say like, oh, you know, we celebrate Christmas too, we just do it in this way. And I'm like, it's still not Christmas though, but, you know, this was a time where they did give out gifts and stuff. So, you know, the elder basically said what I was basically going to say anyway. So, yeah.
Come. Read on.
Come. Verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far.
Right, and when you check out Purim is real festive in Israel. All right, they dress up in all kinds of colorful, you know, clothing. Mm-hmm. Some of the men dress in drag. Some of the soldiers wear skirts. I don't know where they get that from, but it was very festive. It was a very festive time. You were supposed to enjoy it and get into the spirit of it. All right, go ahead.
Con. Verse 21. To establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly.
See that? So they assembled on the 13th, which that became a day of feasting later on during Judah's time, but the actual 2 days of celebration is the 14th and 15th. Go ahead.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions to one another. It's like it, portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
Right, portions one to another, gifts to the poor. This is not our time and our season that we can do it. Like you have some brothers and sisters that'll go out and feed the homeless. Mm-hmm. I know a couple of years ago, some sisters, they went out and they gave out like socks and toiletries to homeless people. You know, you can do stuff like that. You can give gifts amongst each other, gifts to your family. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the Jews overtook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them.
Right, kind. Go ahead.
Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews.
Right, the enemy of all the Jews. And when you check it out, when you go through the history, like I said, Haman came out of the line of Amalek, which we know came out of Esau. Con? Genesis 36.
Fake Jews.
Right, so-called fake Jews. That's what they were back then. Go ahead.
Con had advised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Pur, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them.
Right, so that's where the name of the feast day come from. Pur. Because Pur means lot, or destiny or fate. All right, like they cast the lot upon you, your destiny is going to be, you know. So the lot, the word is par for lot. It means fate or destiny. Kind?
Khan.
And Purim or Paryam, because it's plural, it's 2 days. All right, go ahead.
Khan. Verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he had his sons, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
Right, so write down Esther 9:25 with Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay?
Khan.
All right, so it came down upon Haman and his 10 sons. All right, upon him and his lineage.
That was Esther 9:25, and link that with Galatians 6:7.
Galatians 6 and 7. All right, Khan? All right, read on.
Khan. Verse 26. Wherefore they called these days Purim.
Or Paryam, which makes it plural.
Paryam. Khan.
In the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Paryam. Paryam. That's why we say Ashar Paryam.
Khan.
All right, Ashar or Asher, happy, and Paryam, Purim. All right, because it's plural, days. All right, come on.
After the name of Pur.
After the name of Pur, after them casting a lot. Because what? Also is plural because they cast a lot to have us destroyed, but then we turned it around and cast a lot to have them destroyed.
Khan.
All right, go ahead.
Khan. Verse 27. The Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing and according to their appointed time every year.
Every year, come on.
And that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
Come on.
Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Paryam. Verse 30. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Paryam in their times appointed, according to Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of the fastings and their cry.
Go ahead.
And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Paryam, and it was written in the book.
Go ahead.
Come.
Good. All right, chapter 10, verse 1.
Come. Chapter 10 and verse 1.
And by the way, this history is also written in the Persian and Mede Chronicles. All right, which we're going to read now. Go ahead.
Come. And the king Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land, and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia?
Right, so you can read this history in the Persian and Mede history also.
Come.
What do you mean the Bible's a made-up book of stories?
All
right, go ahead.
Come. For Mordecai the Jew was next unto King Ahasuerus.
See that? Another Israelite that made it second in command in our enemy's empire. All right, go ahead.
And great among the Jews.
Come on.
And accepted of the multitude of his brethren.
Go ahead.
Seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
There you go. All right, seeking the wealth of his people and his seed. Okay? Only his people. So go to the Apocrypha.
Finish off verse.
Finish off chapter 10. Is page 55. It says, part of the 10th chapter after the Greek.
Everybody there say Khan?
Everybody there say Khan?
We're going back, page 55. The book of Esther.
Esther,
Finish up at
the
verse
rest
4.
of chapter 10.
Khan. Everyone there say Khan? Khan. All right, verse 4. Then Marticus said, God hath done these things.
That's Mordecai. It's just Greek.
Khan.
That's Greek for Mordecai. Go ahead.
Then Mordecai said, God hath done these things. For I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof had failed.
See that? So the story started with a dream, and now it's going to end with Mordecai interpreting and understanding the dream. Go ahead.
Khan.
All right, go ahead.
Khan. A little fountain became a river,
Right, the little fountain is Esther. Go ahead.
and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther,
Come on.
whom the king married and made queen.
Right, the little fountain became a great flood. She went from just a little Hebrew woman in the captivity to becoming queen. All right, come on.
And Salaki. And the two dragons are I and Am.
Right, the two dragons that was ready to fight is Mordecai and Haman. All right, the enemies, Esau and Jacob.
Khan.
Good? All right, good. Remember they was fighting in the womb?
Khan.
All right, come on.
And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the names of the Jews. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to God and were saved. For the Lord hath saved his people.
Everybody write down Matthews 1:21. With Esther 10 and 9 in the Apocrypha, Matthews 1:21.
Khan.
Remember it say Yahweh shall save his people from their sins. All right. So Matthews 1:21 with Esther 10 and 9 in the Apocrypha. All right, read on.
Khan. And the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils, and God hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles.
Right, so a lot of people say the Bible is strange. The Bible is weird, them weird stories. No, the Most High does things that the average man can't comprehend to show his power and to show that he's dealing with Israel. He said, I didn't even wrought this type of works amongst the Gentiles.
Khan.
All right, to show that these are my people and I'm going to deliver them no matter what state that they're in. All right, come on.
Khan. Therefore hath he made two lots.
See that? Therefore have you made two lots. All right, one destiny for one nation and a destiny for my chosen nation. Hence the name of the feast day, Purim, or lots plural. All right, come on.
One for the people of God,
One for the people of the Lord. Go ahead.
and another for all the Gentiles.
And another for all the Gentiles. Their fate and their destiny was to be destroyed and for us to defend ourselves against our enemies, and our fate and destiny was to be delivered.
That's
All right, come on.
Khan. So God, Salakia, and these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before God among all nations.
Right, the 12th month, 14th and 15th day. Go ahead.
So God remembered his people and justified his inheritance.
See that? The Bible is a racist book, man.
Khan.
The Most High remembered his people.
That's right.
That's clear. Hammond just said, and my people is this nation Israel. How you going to get around that? All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. Therefore those days shall be unto them in the month of Adar, the 14th and 15th day of the same month, with an assembly and joy and with gladness before Yahweh, according to the generations, forever among his people.
See that? The Lord said we were supposed to keep these days. They were not in Leviticus 23, but they were added, and we were supposed to keep them all throughout history. Okay? So from the time of the Persian Empire up until now, we are keeping these days of Purim. Okay? Hallelujah. Yeah,
That was the
good.
people, that was the brothers and sisters in Philly, man. They said Shalom, man, happy Purim.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
Ashar Paryam. All right. So, real quick, I'm gonna read this. Everybody don't have to get it. You can write it down. 2 Maccabees 15:36. And they ordained all with a common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month. So that's why we celebrate the day of Judas Maccabees, or destruction of Nicanor Day. All right, we had that Thursday night. I did the lesson live on Facebook. It's on H.O.I. Sin City right now. It should be on Awaken Israel in a few days. If you missed it, go back over that lesson. And I gave you the breakdown of 2 Maccabees 15. All right, and it says, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar, the day before Mordecai's day. So another name for the Feast of Purim is Mordecai's day. All right, and you read that in Esther the 10th chapter because Mordecai was glorified. Okay? So it also became known as Mordecai's day. All right, that's why we call the other feast day the day of Judas or the day of the destruction of Nicanor. Because the Edomite, a lot of scholars, they call it the destruction of Nicanor. I probably want to mention the Edomite, you know what I'm saying? But we also call it the day of Judas Maccabees. All right, so it's 3 great feasts in a row. One time we were delivered from the Greeks. The other time we were delivered from Amalek, so-called Jews. Which they all the same people anyway.
Right.
Because they all Edomites out of the same lineage. Good? Right, so all praise to Yahweh B'Ashem Mashiach. Hallelujah. All right, so everybody, Ashar, Payam, Yawam, Ba. All right, happy Purim day 2. Good? Hallelujah. So all praise, honor, and glory. We're going to do closing prayer. Eat, drink, and be merry. Good? Hallelujah.
No, just luck. We do ask that everybody uncover their heads when you come in.
Yeah. We know some brothers, you may view doctrine differently, but the way we do it, we uncover our heads, or we have a mitre, scarf, turban, whatever, but we have the crown of our head open. So our heads are not completely covered when we're praying or prophesying, or when we're reading the word. Okay? We can debate it another time. Come here, Shabbat. All right.
The white man's the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Not. We'll tell y'all. Which way is east? East.
Turn right around. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good, Ariel.
Rep control.
Together, goddamn.
I had a long day.
Sound like Squidward.
I was about to say that damn. That damn ram is sick, man. Goddamn. That ram got a cold. Hope that ram don't have coronavirus.
Going off.
That ram ain't got coronavirus, dude. Good. Hallelujah. Imagine what Panya Yerusalem standing face Jerusalem or the east, which is this way. For a closing prayer. We got an east debate now. We're being told that the east is this way. I don't live here, so...
I'm going to check
New York is directly that way. And the sun directly sets.
Is it a right oblique?
Yeah, it is. It is that way. It is.
All right.
Sun directly sets.
You sure?
Yeah.
Or you just backing up your wife?
No.
Funny.
All right, the east is this way.
God.
All right, so we're going right, what? Left oblique, I think. Yeah, right this way. Diagonal. I repeat the Hebrew only. Drink offering. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the fruit of the vine. Barakatah Yahweh. Ahawa'ah. Tonanawa. Apaya. Gapen. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Wada. Yad. Awalam. Amen. Hallelujah. La Yahweh. La Yahushua. La Yasha'ala. La Payam. La Dum, Yahweh Shai. Blood of Yahweh Shai. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the law. Barakat Yahweh. Ahawa'ah. Talanawa. Atawara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the light to see. Barakat Yahweh. Ahawa'ah. Talanawa. Awar. Lara'ah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the rams on to call the people. Barakat Yahweh. Ahawa'ah. Talanawa. Akwaran. Mashawapah. Wakwara. Ha'ain. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahweh Shai. The water. The yad. Awalam. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shemayim, Dash, Ayah, Shunka, Hawa, Lakwavka, Laba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ratazah, Kawa, Ayah, Shemayim, Talanawa, Khum, Ko, Yawam, Masalaknawa, Wafinawa, Masalaknawa, Wafinawa, Nawa, Messiah one, above, Shina, one, Ayah, Malakwa, Allah, Bataparaf, Hallelujah. Our Father Yahweh, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Hallelujah. Blessed of Israel throughout the four corners of the earth. Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahweh Shai. Noah. Wahabiyat Sapaya. Shema. Yashrallah. Yahweh. Allah Hayanawa. Yahweh. Shema. Yashrallah. Yahweh. Allah Hayanawa. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, power, Yahweh is one. Hallelujah. Blessed, O Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Please watch over Israel throughout the four corners of the earth, all those that are sincere in Yahweh Shai, laboring and teaching and bringing forth your word. Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Hallelujah. Sisters, come up, get anointed. Brothers, try to push the chairs back a little bit. Make a little space for the sisters to get anointed. Sisters, when you come up, get your oil and make a straight line from right to left in front of us.
Yeah, mixed off the scissors means it's clearing the sins off.
Good.
Or you were just wicked. Nah. Loud.
Just start flying up there.
Might catch a fire like Michael Jackson's here.
Like you put a piece of chicken up in there.
Oh man. My egg on it.
Right that way.
Sorry.
All right, that's all the sisters. All right, Akim Shemai.